as live as we'll ever be right now in this moment with Maestro, the main show. Hey Maestro. Hey Maestro. Look at beautiful Dino. He's such a beauty. 5 people already. What's up? How are you guys? Wagwan. I'm waving. Long doobie. Because we bought some papers and the only ones they had with Roach was really long papers. What's up, everybody? Yo, what's up? We are one. Yeah, bro. Why, bro? That's what you wrote. We are one. That is the universal truth of existence. We are one interconnected energy.
Hello, I'm uploading a video. What's up?
This is with tobacco because it's hash. I was smoking with Mullen Lane earlier today. Going all healthy, but then we had a little issue in our house. We found that like black mold spot in our wardrobe, and then we pulled the wardrobe away and the whole wall was covered with black mold. The whole corner behind the wardrobe was covered with black mold. So we spent the whole day fucking scrubbing. Luckily we have a stone house here in Spain, but the wardrobe was made out of wood. So the wardrobe had got black mold, and the black mold had spread to the wall. So we threw away the wardrobe and we spent all day scrubbing the wall to get fucking black mold off the wall. Luckily it was a stone house, so it hasn't spread to like the wood or something where you need to redo the wall. We literally just scrub the wall and then we need to repaint the wall. That's it. So it wasn't a super big deal, but we spent this whole day fucking cleaning and scrubbing mold away. Yeah, this reality is a dream, but it's also a very real dream if you call it reality, like real. It's a real dream if you put it like that. It's a dream of God. It's like, if you imply that it's a dream, then you could just say like it's a dream, when you wake up none of this exists and it didn't matter. But that's not completely true, because energy doesn't disappear. Energy is only transmuted. So in a sense where all appearances is a dream, energy is very real. Energy is very real. Can I join you live in 10 minutes? Yeah, sure, bro. If you speak English and join the live, you're welcome. What's good? Not the Nomad. Alex, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Shalom. Peace to everybody. As I was just saying, there's 9 people here now. We had a bit of a rough day. We found black mold down our wardrobe, so we've been spending all day just cleaning the house and scrubbing black mold off the wall and throwing out a pretty big wardrobe. So now is the final moment where we just literally, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get some tobacco, I'm gonna get a fucking beer, and I'm gonna say congratulations, we found the mold. We're gonna celebrate, we're gonna just fucking relax. Because I was getting these spots, I was getting these itches. Like I was getting like, it looked like mosquito bites, and I was like, oh, it's just a mosquito bite or something. And then I was getting them, and then I was like, now I'm getting one under my shirt where there hasn't even been a mosquito or anything. And it was driving me like, what the fuck is this? Where's it coming from? Is it like that we had Babylon wash one time to wash our clothes with it? And I was like, is it perfume washing? What is this red spots I got on my skin? And then today we just figured it out and found mold. So now it's all good. Yeah, we're in Spain. Mold is not always healthy, for sure not. And black mold is not always healthy. Black mold is really bad. And when I was a kid, I went to a kindergarten that had black mold, and everybody in the kindergarten got sick and allergies and kinds of things, and the kindergarten shut down for like half a year for renovation. And I haven't experienced black mold like this since I worked in New Zealand when I was like 20. And I worked for like a party place where people lived in cabin, and they came for like dress up parties, costume parties, and they would come on a tourist bus and party there for 1 or 2 nights. And then we were doing a big cleanup, and we found out that every cabin, like 30 cabins in that place, were covered with mold in every corner, behind everything, and in the roof and shit. And then I cleaned a lot of mold. So it was the first time in like 7 years I cleaned mold. I'm smoking on some hashish from Spain and some tobacco. What do you think about purple haze? What do you mean purple haze? Do you mean like just the strain purple haze? Cheers, everybody, to all of existence. Nostrovia. I've spilled over myself like a retard. Great. Well, all haze are sativa strains, so what I think about purple haze is the same about any sativa strain. It makes you more productive, makes you do things, it's great for the morning, it's great while making music, it's great while dancing, or great while creating anything in a creative force. And indica is great, always. Like I love indica, I love getting slow and relaxed, but just in general, all hazes are majority sativa, and all kush are majority indica. And I'm in general an indica man, but this haze in general is great if you like making music, or if you want to do stuff, you're going for a hike up the mountains, or anything out in nature, or you want to have a conversation with a friend when you're out in nature. You're going to have way more conversations if you're smoking a pure sativa strain than if you're smoking a pure indica strain, because then you're just going to be like, depending on your tolerance, of course, but usually if you smoke some really strong indica in today's day and age, it has really high THC, and then you just go, and after a while you kind of lose the capability to speak properly and get small talk, while the opposite happens on sativa, where you just bro, what's your best psychedelic trip? Like, oh, I've had so many amazing psychedelic trips. I don't know. Anytime you take a big dose and you have an ego death, it's the most liberating experience ever. Even if you've experienced the ego death a million times, even if you experienced it and you constantly live in a state of union and yoga, when you take a psychedelic, and you get to the ego's death stage where you lose perception and thought of yourself, and the thought of yourself, and that disappears. It's the most, anytime you do that, it's the most freeing experience ever, because you get to return both to God and get the experience of unconditional love and liberation. And the second of all, you get your power back, because you realize that you're the creator of your mind, and you're the creator of your words, and through words, sound, power, we create reality through frequency, energy, and vibration. Word, sound, power. So it's not even one psychedelic experience, it's just all of them together. In the beginning, experiencing ego death, experiencing God, not knowing what it is, and then coming down to back to the conditioning, back to the ego, starting to practice meditation, starting to practice yoga, starting to read about ego death, started to practice higher doses with intention for ego death, and that all leads up to the present moment, right here and now, where I feel completely free every moment of my life. Both to be completely free and accept any situation as it is, or to change any situation into what I want it to be if I feel like. So both being the creator and the active participant and the neutral observer at the same time. That's what the most best psychedelic trip is like. It's not the trip itself, it's the insight from it that you can integrate into your daily life. Saya wants to be in. No? You disappeared, Saya. It said you requested something and then it disappeared. Did you notice the Liberty caps are just stronger in general than Cubensis? If you smoking my stuff, well, God bless. Hello, area. Hello, OXSN, OXSN, Baron, Babylon Starseed. What's up, King?
Whatever you want to call yourself. Saya's having the same thing. I just checked her story and she was like, I want to change the name of my channel. It's 1919 right now.
What's up with everybody? What you guys up to? If you missed it, we found black mold in our wardrobe and behind our fruit. You said so in your last life when you were Bob Marley. Babylon don't have it. You can't find any fucking fruits in the concrete jungle. Oh shit! There's a storm brewing. And the person that built our roof, they built it like some plebs. They didn't screw the roof. They put fucking wires so when it's windy it just flops up and down. So this man gotta go to Babylon and get some screws. Dino gets scared when there's storms. He doesn't like it. He hides. Well, that's the funniest thing. Babylon doesn't have any fruits. It's just concrete, iron, steel, aluminium, all these things. And
But we're close to Babylon here and we have fruits here.
nature has the fruits.
Yeah, we're living out in nature.
But it's not even like roof, it's the outside rain roof for the little outside spot. But I'm gonna get, what the fuck is it called? Just when you have steel roof things with little drains inside of them, like, I just need to get screws, and I stuck the roof outside there, and it's not gonna shake. The closest town is 3 kilometers, and it's called Sayalonga, and it's still in the mountains. Like the whole town is just like in the hills and small streets. It's really fucking cool. I just started driving here because there's no cops or anything here, so now I started driving all the time, and I'm fucking loving it. I'm loving just being in a place in a country where I can drive, and there's no fucking cops around here. Orma Lessa, what's up? Have you ever seen an alien, E.T.? I've seen, like, what do you call it? Interdimensional beings from psychedelics when you're tripping and you're tapping into different frequencies of reality, but I haven't had any E.T. alien experiences in life. How's your window views? We barely have, like, that's the funky thing, this house barely has any windows, and it's literally like this, and outside of this you open it, and it's like fenced. So this is basically my window view, and it herbs for days. We got valerian root, we got moringa, the original spinach, the dried in powder, the wild, like original God created spinach, because spinach is technically man-made. We got herbs for the respiratory system. This is alkaline herbs for the kidneys. This is alkaline herbs for digestion. Here's sarsaparilla root for iron. Here's more sarsaparilla root. Here's burdock root, also an alkaline God created herb. That's my window view. You gotta request yourself, bro. I can't add you. It's not. Oh, it's. Oh, maybe I can. I literally got milk thistle too, bro. But I don't have an extract or anything. I have the seeds. This is Cardo Maria. This is this is the seeds of Maria thistle, which is literally like milk thistle, but around here. And it's also a liver detox, and you got silica, or not silica, something similar to silica in it. I have 2 people that sent a request. First, I do Brock. I accepted him. Nothing happened. I accepted again. I mean, Sweden has really good smoke. So, and if you didn't know what kind of smoke I was getting in Sweden, I was getting really good smoke. So the hash is actually shittier than the stuff we had in Sweden because we had really good stuff. I'm gonna accept OXSN, OXSN. I have been adding you. I've been clicking accept like 10 times on both of you guys. Oxen came. I accepted both. Can you hear me, bro?
What's going on, bro? Can you see me?
Yeah, it's a storm outside.
Yeah, I've been watching for a minute. So, fair enough. Is it a mad storm? Because are you are you at the top, like where are you catching all the wind, or are you semi in the valley?
But we're quite high up.
Yeah, I see on some of your blogs. I've been watching all your blogs. Yeah, that's quite high up, man. Like for a storm, like I don't know.
And look, it's not screwed in. It's like with these ones. So
Zip ties. Zip tied your roof on.
Iron. There's some
really?
fucking metal base.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get you. It's like shaking from the wind.
And
That's
here
pretty
it's
cunning.
not even screwed together. I got some things cut out.
Looking good. Other than that, you haven't moved in with any other bugs. Got a shaky roof. That's quite mad, to be honest. Can you hear that all through the night? Like, does it jump with the wind? Does it at the minute?
It hasn't been this stormy so much. It hasn't really been a thing.
Yeah, been quite sunny. I see.
Yeah.
You shaved your head again. What you saying?
Yeah, good. How are you? At least we got our sensei, bro. Don't matter about the roof, bro.
At least I got my sensei. I was about to show you an empty baggie like a fucking retard.
I ain't got much. Am I gonna get you terminated now? I've just got your Instagram permanently banned for doing this on your whole life.
Instagram doesn't even mind.
Yeah, I'm joking already. Babylon's gonna come to you now. Oh my god. Well,
I tried to post a picture on Instagram the other day. It was like basically nude, but I was covering all the things that need to be covered, yeah? And I managed to post a picture, and then within like 2 seconds, I got this message pop up that was Instagram being like, "Are you sure about that?" Like, it was like, if you keep this picture, we might shadow ban you. You're not gonna, like, people aren't gonna see your posts. We're gonna do all these things. Or you could delete the picture, and none of those things will happen. And I was like, what
Funny
the
thing is,
fuck?
yeah, it's fucking. Then it's yeah. I mean, I guess Instagram's got to say that they don't allow full on nude in that, but they like their algorithm pushes fucking like all the algorithms do it to an extent. Like they clickbait people and shit. So like Instagram is like acting like I don't know, they're censoring, but they push it themselves. Everyone knows social media does that. It's like so, you know, and you're like innocent as well. It's not like you're fucking half the shit on there is a lot worse than whatever you've been posting. But yeah, fuck knows. I guess Instagram just don't allow that.
I just thought it was funny the way they were really like, "Are you sure about that? Are you quite sure about this? let's present it to you like this. This is what we're gonna do if you post this photo." I was like, "All right, I'll take it down."
Why did you shave your head?
I like it. It looks good.
Just because, I don't know. Just thought, fuck it. It's because having hair's just annoying. It's I don't know. There you go. There's the reason. I just look sharper without compared to what I did have.
I accepted one more guy, but he can just make noise, and I don't see. I don't see you.
Hey, what's good, man?
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, I'm waiting on the bus, bro.
That's good.
And I'm taking a little break. You feel me?
We can't see you. It's just audio. It's because
I swear.
Instagram's fucking shit. That's why.
Can you see me?
No.
No.
I only see Baron, and I don't see you. Like.
It's alright, we can hear you, it's fine. We don't I mean, I don't know,
Alright,
Instagram's shit, trust me.
What do you have on your heart, my friend?
Bro, I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying life. I'm rolling a blunt.
That's right, we've all
Bro,
got weed
you
in this
really
chat.
can't see me.
All three of us have got some
We
smoke.
can't see you, literally. Like, we can only hear you.
Neo, filma. Yes, sir.
I don't know how Instagram did this, but...
Waggy baggy. My friends can see me though, but I don't know.
Oh, Mr. Nature, I got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
When was the last time you took a heroic dose tryptamine? Like I don't know how, because I was watching some of our last podcasts. Like, when have you took a 5-7 gram shroom trip?
Yeah, many times, but the most recent one is probably DMT, like half a year ago or something.
I don't know exactly I don't know. They're all. I only really know mushrooms, to be honest. So it's hard for me to. Cause I just remember you saying, I think in a past podcast, I was reflecting on that we done one of our first ones that you said like you don't take huge doses too much these days. I don't know. I don't know what you do. To be honest, I know you do the LSD often, kind of. Or
Yeah,
you
but
did.
I didn't even, like, the last 3 months in Sweden, I was just focusing on flipping weed, and I didn't want to, I wanted to be available all the time, and I didn't want to be high on psychedelics, so I was flying, so I was just super focused, and I didn't trip for like 3 months, and I had acid at home the whole time, and I didn't, and DMT, and I didn't, and Shanga. The only thing, last time I took psychedelics was like 2 days before I went to Spain. I smoked like 10 hits of Shanga and laid in my bed and listened to Neville Goddard about imagination.
I've been getting into him more. I've been seeing more of him.
Wee.
He's quite big, isn't he?
Huh?
Yeah, fair enough. I wasn't sure. I just wanted to clarify if you had taken because that's what I'm most experienced in is taking the largest mushroom dose that I can fucking physically bear, and then just going underneath the blanket. That's most of my experiences. But you've done DMT. I just didn't know if you'd done like loads of heroic doses like that because because sometimes we have like contrast with our worldviews. I thought potentially maybe we'd seen
I've
different
done
stuff a bit.
up to 7 grams, like maximum of mushrooms, and 7 grams was Liberty Cap.
That's
Y'all can see me?
that'll fucking do. You don't need anything more than that. What are you saying?
Can y'all see me?
No,
Do
bro,
you
Nah,
see me now?
we
I
can't see
can't.
you. You
Ah!
can.
Let me go out and let me go in.
You try.
Just tell us what you look like with the words. Describe us
No, but
visuals.
I've had more ego death experiences with LSD than with mushrooms.
I've been painting a lot. I've got a lot of paint on me. I've been helping. Yeah, LSD is quite ego deathy, bro. Like for me, LSD is like It was quite nearly more profound than mushrooms.
Can you see me now?
No,
What
No,
the
I can
fuck?
still not see.
it depends. It depends. Mushrooms, they're in their own unique way, but LSD made me like I don't know. They all do the same thing, kind of. But tell me about your ego deaths on LSD. How do you mean? Like,
Literally on LSD is just above 500 to 800 micrograms every time if you lay still, like you said, you lay
Damn,
on
bitch.
a blanket or something. If you lay still
yeah,
and you don't stimulate your mind on over 500 micrograms,
Hey, they
then
pulling up.
then it dissolves your sense of self into the eternal self every time.
that
Damn,
sounds
that's
pretty
crazy,
good.
bro.
You realize you, God, motherfucker, your consciousness, your
It
pure
depends a
consciousness.
lot. I feel like I've learned a lot by not tripping.
Oh
Like.
my god!
When I revisit tripping, but the breath and the present awareness is definitely key. Like, because it's like how you said, there's only thought loops in that if you're unconsciously tripping, kind of. And I've found that, like, I reflect on some of my past trips, and sometimes I get stuck in this like weird vibration, but it's all with the breath. Like, just then I said I was been painting. Like yesterday, I was painting. And I had proper heavy energy for ages. I literally just sat in a turn for 2 seconds, done some breathing and some grounding, and I was fine. It's like just the breathing and the like will change everything. Like you liked that thing I reposted of the Solar Jarrett and it's saying if you don't breathe, you don't know how to do psychedelics. I posted that today. I think you liked that. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm making that.
But it goes both ways, of course. Like you can have a huge experience with any knowledge of meditation or breathing, but to ground it and sustain it, you have to start practicing devotion to the breath. You don't have to, but it helps a lot.
Yeah, it's sustaining it and evolving your base level of awareness like is a much different game than reaching a peak. Like the way that Leo says it is like the stage of development. Like it's easy to get like a peak of awakening, but to like actually integrate that into your being is like a whole different
It is and
ball
it
game.
isn't. Because for me, like my first big ego death acid trip changed my whole life. And from then on, of course, there was confusion after, there was conditioning, there was things to figure out and let go of, and all of these things, and anger and being angry at the government. But after that trip, it was like, oh, God is real, nature is real, everything from nature is actually what we're meant to create. Man-made creations are just a bonus of our creation. But
Yo,
if you
Mr.
actually want
Nature,
to, yeah,
do you remember the first time that I met you when I came with the car to your place?
yeah, and you bought mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that was my first time taking mushrooms, and I took 4 grams at once, like at straight, like the first time, and I was like, bro, I'm telling you, that shit was crazy. Like I experienced the ego death right there and then. I swear, that was
What's your
crazy, bro.
craziest experience? Tell us a mini trip report. What's the maddest shit you've
Man,
experienced on
this
psychedelics?
shit, to be honest, is like the first time I took any psychedelics. I took LSD, and we were at my the place I was working at, and like I lived there at the same time. And
Yeah.
then we were there. We took LSD, and like the first, my one friend, he had done it before. Like he knew what was going on and everything. So he started to do like jumping jacks and running around the building and shit. And then my other friend like kind of hooked up to that too as well. He was like, "I'm gonna do this as well," and I was like just spectating shit. I didn't understand anything. And then after a while, like out of nowhere, I started to feel something, and I was like, yo, this is not enough. And me and my other friend was like, maybe we should, because we had gotten one free ecstasy. So he was like, maybe we should just split this ecstasy, and then we
Yeah.
can go and like feel the full thing. But like we waited 15 minutes, and then we felt the full effect, and it was like, yo, if we took in that fucking ecstasy, we would have been like on the other side of the planet, you know, like on
Yeah.
another level. But we were like basically like on top of my place, we were hiring out to a certain motorcycle club, and we saw them outside, and they were like doing some shit, and I don't know, some shit just popped into my head and said, I thought, I'm just gonna jump on the bus. Wait, give me 1 second.
That's that's it. To be fair, do you ever find, Miss the Nature there, if you trip and you go outside, there's always weird shit happening.
I'm back.
Like,
Give me
it's
one
like the
second, guys.
universe knows that you're tripping. Yeah, go on.
Sorry. I just had to jump on the bus.
Oh, that's
Distance, all
cool.
right. Okay. So basically, I tell all my friends, like these guys, they are criminal. They already know that. Like they're heavy criminal, and like I didn't think of this like straight up. Like I was just something that popped into my head at the moment, and I was like, yo, someone has gotten fucking stabbed on the other entrance. And then we looked out because I got like some message from my colleagues that said like, this is what's happening on the backside of our company. But I didn't check the group chat. It was some kind of joke because there was a picture of our colleague. But then what happened was I interpreted that shit like something has happened on the other side of the building. And then we go there and like we look outside, there's like, I'm telling you, like 25 of these guys on bikes. They are like full on the throttle, like they're about to go to a meeting or something. So we all get fucking paranoid, and then we go inside my room, turn all the lights off. I hide by the bed, like almost under the bed, and I'm like holding our trip sitter. He was going to trip sit us, but then he drank like 4 or 5 beers, and he got so drunk, and he didn't help us at all, and he was like asleep. So, so, so basically, I was holding my friend's like foot. I was like, "Yo, is this you? Is this you? Is this you?" Like all over again, like 100 times over. And like, bro,
You're
I'm telling you, that shit was so
sleeping.
fucking crazy. Like, I looked outside the windows and everything. I was like, I was so paranoid, bro. I'm not even playing.
That sounds
Yeah,
pretty
that's my
mad.
crazy story for real.
Life is all in your head, bro. Acid shows you that pretty quick.
Sorry if you didn't understand, but telling you like what you could have heard, what you heard. I'm telling you, it was crazy. I'm drunk as fucking high as hell, bro. Like I felt like I kind
Sounds mad.
of sped through that story, but it's whatever, you know.
Yeah. It sounds like an acid trip where you just got really confused and every story that happened was just too much for the acid brain. So you just get really confused.
Yeah, bro. Recently, I took ketamine with my friend, and also there it was like I was stuck in this. Like after a while, it was like I was watching this false perception of reality, and I was like, "This is not real." And then it like it it zoomed out and turned into another reality again, and I was like, "This is not real." And then it happened a third time, and I was like, "Yo, I'm so fucked up. I don't even understand what's going on." Like I was understanding everything, but still, it was like, yo, this is too much to fucking
Yeah,
comprehend at the same time.
it's scary how deep it goes. It's weird, man. Like how much you can trip out. It's weird how it works, isn't it? You just take it
But
and you're just in a
Yeah.
room
on
and you just.
ketamine, especially,
Whatever
it's
happens, you
actually
just have to fucking handle it. You feel me?
that's why you should just usually not do ketamine, because ketamine does weird trips. You get really, really weird trips and so, like
Yeah, I
ketamine.
know.
If you take it,
I don't really like ketamine, to be honest. I swear to God.
it can be fun on a rave in small doses and stuff when you're dancing and shit. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
like K-holes and shit, they're like 50-50. You're like gambling if you're gonna have a cool experience or if you're gonna have the most fucked up experience ever.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Nature, because, like, you cannot even compare the shrooms or LSD compared to ketamine. Like, ketamine is like another. It's like a fake. It's like a fake trip.
Yeah, it's fully synthetic. It
Yeah.
doesn't come anything from nature. It's 100% made in a synthetic lab.
Exactly. That's the thing.
I listened
Like,
to.
I rather enjoy some shrooms, you know.
I've never really tried it, but
Look at
Leo
this.
Gura has a video on like it's called "Is Ketamine Useful for Spirituality?" And
Yo, where are you at
Oh
right
yeah,
now, bro?
I'm in Spain right now.
Okay. You brought
but I've
one of
heard
the
that
kids, or like,
ketamine.
bro, people are like shrooms friendly over there.
No, but I live in the mountains. There's like no people here.
Uh,
I've heard that ketamine can like erode your like ability to conceptualize. You just like literally go into the void. Or,
yeah.
It's like you can take ketamine and anything can happen. It's like you can sit and I'm holding this bottle here, and all of a sudden it feels like I'm the bottle. Or you could feel like you're getting sucked into a tunnel of a black hole and you're just in the K-hole for hours. Like, it can do so many different things because it's
Yeah.
a dissociative. So it like
you are the
turns you
bottle.
off.
You are the bottle. You can do that on
Also, the
shrooms.
thing is,
You can
you can
become a
actually
bottle
overdose
on
on the shrooms.
shrooms.
You
On
can
ketamine, it
Sorry.
just
actually die from ketamine. That's the difference. You can actually die
yeah,
from it. Your heart can stop. That shit would never happen with shrooms.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're right.
For
I've
real.
heard not good things about it. You know, it's obviously it's not the same as mushrooms, is it? There's the actual psychedelics. That's what kills a lot of like not literally, but you hear videos speaking like, oh, groundbreaking psychedelic research, and you click on it and they're like talking about ketamine. It's like ketamine is not a proper psychedelic, bruv. That's not like, and they get it conflicted like that. I don't know. It's ketamine's an edge
No, I
case. Like
totally
that's not
agree
even
with you.
really. Hmm?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because you're getting like, you're getting like this,
Shit.
you're just like, bedavad. What's it called? Like, you're just
Like sedated. You don't feel, you're
sedated.
numb.
It's just
You
Exactly.
don't
You're
feel
fucking
anything.
sedated. You're nothing more than the sedated, and it's like this false perception of a reality. Like you just get fucked up. But I've never taken ketamine and been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do better because of this, because I thought about it. It's just like weird scenarios I'm thinking about. You feel me? On ketamine,
if I had like
shrooms. I
if
take
I had
shrooms
some.
and I get motivated. You feel me?
I know that Leo Gura, everyone's not like. I think he's thick when it comes to health, to be honest, because he's getting the COVID jab, and not that you have to know who he is, but he made a fucking video on ketamine, talking
Who?
like for 2 hours. This fucking actualize.org. He talks about spirituality and psychedelics. That's what the only reason I bring him up, and I'm just saying, he made it sound interesting, and it makes me like I would potentially be interested in if I had like the cleanest stuff. I'm not sure. It depends because he's kind of thick, I think, when it comes to health. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
sounds interesting
You don't
potentially
want to
for
do ketamine.
spirituality.
Bro, I'm
No.
telling you,
For
like it's definitely
spirituality, you
worth a
can
try.
flush ketamine down the toilet. Ketamine is only for getting fucked up.
Yeah,
And then sometimes
that
when you're
trust me, it's
lucky,
nothing. You don't get nothing good out of it.
you
Yeah,
can, but then
fair
you're
enough.
lucky and you just got a good experience
Yeah,
from like a trippy effect of your mind. Like,
yeah, but Same with like, bro, you can get that experience from MDMA. You can get it from ecstasy as well. But it's like you're just lucky. Then it's nothing like guaranteed. You feel me? Like with shrooms, if you get a bad trip, you're still gonna think about the bad things that you really have to take care of.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I've had fucking loads of mushroom trips, so I know what. So yeah, fuck knows. It's just I don't know. I think it just sounds fun. I guess, but yeah,
Bro,
you're right. I haven't heard good things
it's
about
so
it, and
fun. It's
people who have an
hilarious, bro.
intuition of health tell you to stay away from ketamine, and so yeah, you know,
No, no, no,
traumatic
I
thing like
agree.
that.
It's a really nice experience. Don't get me wrong.
I would no, I ain't done it, but how was your experience on it?
Me,
Yeah, well,
bro, like the first time I took it, I was by myself. And
right.
I bought 1 gram and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go like all in. And I like snorted it and like I fell asleep and then I woke up. I had made 2 group chats with like 100 people each. And I have no memory. And then also I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. It like made me like that's a thing actually. I got something good out of it because it made me think real good. Like this person is not made for me, blah 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 blah. And then I broke up with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just like I basically fell into the K hole and woke up, and then I like talked my whole relationship story with my mom about my girlfriend. So it's like I told my mom everything, like from my side, from her side, and like that way it was good. And my mom thought I was just drunk, so it's like all cool, you know.
That's what she says. Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
that way it was good. But other times I've just taken it and like just to get high, you know.
Yeah, fair play. Have you ever done it, Mr. Nature? Rod?
Yeah, I've done it a few times, but
I haven't.
never super like just on a rave. And one time when my friend gave me 10 grams, really cheap, and he's like, "Sell this." And I tried some a few times, and I've done it like 3 or 4 times at a rave, so maybe like just 7 times in total or something. But it's not the best. Like it's fun if you go to a party and you take the right dose and you're like dancing or talking to someone, then it's pleasant as fuck. But if you're just k-holing, it's like you're Russian rouletting, like with a gun, if it's gonna be a
100%.
pleasant experience or not. And you're also risking your life a little bit.
Yo, shit can stop,
Yeah.
bro. Like your heart can like literally stop.
Yeah, fuck that. It just sounds.
That shit
Yeah.
would never happen with some
Yeah,
shrooms.
yeah, you're right. Uh,
But trust me, it's a fun experience. I really have had fun every time. Don't get me wrong. I like to take other
At,
stuff as well.
at a
Like
party in low doses, I would recommend it. Like, don't
yeah,
go for a
definitely.
KO.
Just
Like,
take like
I wouldn't
three keys.
recommend it, but like in the right moment, a low dose can be an enjoyable night.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
whatever you
dropped.
do, don't drink at the same time.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't drink. Alcohol's dead. I mean. Oh yeah, I literally dropped like half of this bong and like it just disappeared. Like, that's why I'm not on the camera anymore. I'm like looking for this thing. So we're just like voided. Oh, there you go. Sounds good. Luna.
Hello, Luna. You get your tongue out like.
Luna, that's Mr. Nature.
Yo, hey guys. Yeah, I have
Yo.
to take care. All right, I'm on the bus. I'm gonna take. Yeah, I need to take care. You have a great night. All right.
Peace, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you for
bro.
All right.
joining.
Have a
Take care, boys.
good one.
See ya, man.
So,
Ciao.
bye. Man's out of the. I'm not. I don't know why I'm saying that. What we
Wait,
saying
Saya says
anyway?
you. Wait, she says you know nature because of this 5G tower outside of my window. She lives in Stockholm. I was afraid to trip. Now it's chill. Have you moved out or what? Like you're so funny with your 5G paranoia. It's like motherfucking your mind creates more disturbance about the 5G towers than the actual 5G towers themselves. Like, and I'm not saying
Yeah,
5G towers are good for us, but walking around with a focus on that all the time is literally like your self-created hell. It's like, who gives a shit? Fucking enjoy it.
I get it, but like my
Turn off,
auntie here, they
if it
literally
matters, turn
built.
off your internet. Stop using social medias. Turn 4G, 5G off, and then it's
No, get
solid.
this. My auntie, they literally built a 5G tower, like literally right the fuck, basically next to her front garden, and
But that's what
I used to
Saya
live
has
there.
almost.
Huh?
That's what the girl is writing in the chat has. She has it like outside her window, like 50
Yeah,
meters
I
away.
know. Yeah, like I used to live there, and all I can say is I get what you're saying, but I'm happy I don't fucking live there now. Because if the council put a 5G tower out the front of my fucking window, I would be not very happy, bro. You wouldn't be happy either. You know you wouldn't. If
Bro,
they fucking
I'm
if they put a
always
5G
happy.
tower
What
on
you
your
talking about? Like, I'm Hakuna Matata. I'm wherever God puts me. That's okay. Like, what you talking about? I don't give a shit about a 5G tower.
so if the Spanish government put a 5G tower in your back garden, would you just be like Hakuna Matata?
What can I do about it? Like, am I gonna be a bitch or am I gonna embrace it? Like, it's insanity to deny reality and try to work against something that already is and you have no control over.
Yeah, I get it, but it's a bit of a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Because
if you just listen to like science and logic, it's like you're the placebo. There's science that like if you think positive about something, it's not the thing making you experience these happy hormones and happy immune system in your body. It's your actual thoughts about the things. The things have no power over you. It's your own perception on things.
I do get you is in terms of like because it's kind of sometimes it can be hard to understand what you're on about.
But
But I get
let me put it really simply. If you eat the healthiest diet in the world, if you go fruitarian, like let's say if you go fruitarian
yeah
and you're detoxing your whole body and you're going as alkaline as fucking possible, but every day you're worrying, you won't be healthy.
yeah I get you, but like I don't know. It's just like I know what you mean. Like it is how you react to the world, and that is kind of like you're right in a way. Like it's all about slowing your awareness down and being more mindful, and then there is more freedom. But most people just wake up and go on their phone, and they don't even wake up properly. Like you're not actually awake. So if you slow down and breathe and take control of your mind, kind of, then. But yeah, you are right. But also, it's just like a you know there's no if I don't care like I don't know I can't help it if there was a 5G tower put out in front of my yard I would be not happy with that. I know I wouldn't, and I don't
No,
think I'm
but
huh
does it really matter? Like, can you do something about it? Could
yeah
you right now, in the
I could
position you
decide
are,
to not care
decide?
if I wanted huh
Yeah, but exactly. That's the only thing you have to do that's in your power, that empowers you, is that you can't change some things on the outside reality because you're not a politician. You're not someone in a point. You're not going to start a fucking revolution outside your house. To maybe go outside with a sign and start the fucking thing. Like, go for it. Start a protest or something. Like, that's maybe one thing you
yeah
could
but
do.
I'd
But the other
just
thing,
leave like I wouldn't. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
because
I'm with
it's
you.
all about bringing the power back to yourself. And once you start excusing
Yeah
and blaming things outside, you're like free.
yeah you're right, but then it depends if you give a fuck about in a way the ego because
But
I get
what is the ego? Alan Watts says the ego doesn't even exist.
I mean the human self, like if I let my because don't you think that you can potentially kind of right if I stop caring about the 5G tower then and I return back to my true self, my timeless self, my God identity, then does that involve Ramana Maharshi just fucking oh well, I'll just eat
But,
this shit and sit here. Who cares? Why would I worry about
but
exercise when I'm not the body, bro? I'll just
he
sit here and
remembered
fucking die.
that he
Huh?
was God. he remembered that he was God, and he chose to stay on the neutral, omnipresent side instead of a creative creator side. If you're God, what do you want? He wanted to chill the fuck out and not give a fuck. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Because it's unconditional, it's unlimited, it's infinite. So it's like saying someone is doing it better than one right better than the other. It's like every single path you take is the right path because you will be experiencing it as the truth.
Yeah, I guess.
When you say you're sad, you feel that as your truth of your experience. When you go back to source, your source, and you can either stay in this neutral Tao and just flow with everything and not give a fuck and not care
Yeah.
about the senses in a way where they affect you because you just stay in awareness, or you can realize the power of awareness. You can be like, I'm fucking God, like I can think and create and manifest anything I want. It doesn't have to mean that you call yourself God. It just has to realize that you open your third eye and you know that every thought and every word is creative.
Yeah, I get you.
And then if I get a 5G tower outside here just for fun, I get one outside my door here. If I walk around every day thinking, oh, this 5G tower is poison, oh, this 5G tower is fucking me up, oh, fuck this fucking 5G tower. Or if I walk around like, this 5G tower is made out of source essence light. It's just in a dense vibration, and it's quite fun to see what humans have made. Thank you, God. Like, and you switch it to a whole nother perspective because perspectives are infinite, and no one is more right than the other. And you see what one does to your nervous system and what the other one does to your nervous system, and you will realize how much power you have over your life all the time.
Yeah. See, I always do intuit that, like, overall, that, like, everything that you do say in general, you are right about. In, like, I don't, like,
It works for me.
I may, hmm?
It works for me.
I may play the devil's advocate somewhat or whatever. I'll ask a lot of questions, but I do often, I've said to you before, like, in the DMs, like, I always do end up agreeing with your paradigm overall. It's just tricky, man, because, like, obviously, like, me and you know the ins and outs of a lot of fucking spiritual teachings. We've both had a lot of deep psychedelic experiences, done a lot of breath work and shit. Like, we know and we've had a lot of these long conversations and things. But yeah, so, like, we both know, like, the ideas, all the experiences of, like, inner and outer space are exactly the same and stuff. But, like, I still, like, overall, like, because you can tell me all this stuff, but, like, I don't know, it just you know, why aren't most people doing it then? If it's so simple or whatever, if, like, why is everyone thick? Why
Because
is
everyone is unconscious spirits barely living.
how do you wake up then? Because it doesn't matter how much I talk.
Because there is no other. You wake yourself up.
But then, like,
I'm never trying to wake you up, Baron. Just so you know,
what do you think this cunt would say?
I'm just sharing my experience. Like,
What do you think this cunt would say? I don't know if you know who he is. If
I don't
anyone in the
know.
chat knows it, guys, what do you think, Mr. Nature versus Hamza? Hamza says you should feel like shit because you are not good enough, so you should get better. So watch my video to buy my shit, and I'll tell you how to get better.
Like shit. Like in my experience, it's like the truth of ending suffering has nothing to do with like ending goals or ambitions or anything like that. It has to do with stopping to resisting any emotions or anything. So you can go and flow with every emotion, and you can transmute any emotion into something that benefits you in the moment. And that's alchemy. And like, I'm not against anyone like Hamza. We're all about like like personal development and self-improvement and just becoming better people and achieving goals. It's just like, if you return to God first, then you're very clear on your goals. And it's way easier to not fall off when you have a clear sense of that you're actually one with the creator in every step, and it's all a synchronized movement. It's a completely different state of consciousness to be moving from the materialistic paradigm when you're still stuck to lust, anger, greed, and all of these things, and you haven't purified yourself from time and space condition and returned to what your soul always was.
Yeah.
Imagine
So why
all of
don't
your bear.
this man do it then? Because they're thick. I get it, but why?
But
Go
why
on. What you saying? Yeah, but that's why I'm asking you. I'd love to. It sounds like you've just flipped this switch and you're like, aha, and then where
Yeah, but
it
then
seems
let's
like you
break it
took
down.
acid and you were like, I got it now, and then you
Who,
come back and you're like, this is how it is.
yeah, but who controls your thought but you? Let's forget about all this are happening. That's one side of
But why is
consciousness.
there
Who
so much
controls your thought?
contradiction then? Because it's like I understand what you're saying, but then like, so who controls my thoughts but you? All right, so I can tell any story I want, but what about the supposed external world that I'm up
Have you
against?
ever seen that as soon as you say that a bee is dangerous, your whole external reality changes to fear, and your nervous system changes, and your whole
But
perception of reality changes?
but the bee, it could, or the wasp, or whatever it is, could be dangerous, right? So
But it could
am I
also be
creating
beautiful.
the danger by thinking that?
So it could also be beautiful. So by that, you're seeing that even if your external reality doesn't change, the feeling and the actual reality of the experience changes. So when you change your perceptions, you all of a sudden go from a horrible experience to a positive experience, a pleasant experience that brings you joy and euphoria. All thanks to your perception, and two people can have the exact same experience and perceive it in two different ways and make their life completely different. So it all traces back to give the power back to yourself. Because what is self? Self is God. And who is God? It's yourself. And then it's like, okay, if you realize yourself at some point at an ego death and you are actually God having this experience, even if there's a state where you can just flow, if you're God, wouldn't that mean you're able to lucid create any dream you want if you created this whole dream?
What's the exact question? If I was God, I think that's how I see God, as an infinite dream. I'm not sure exactly what the question was. I
The
didn't
question
grasp.
is, if you have that realization that you're God, wouldn't that
Right.
mean that you're the author of your life?
Well,
Who
yeah,
else
like
would
obviously,
be?
especially in deep psychedelia, like I seem to be. I've been in states where like I'm absolutely confident that it's like literally a lucid dream. That's what self-realization feels like. It's realizing that it's all like a dream and like there is no external world kind of thing. Um, so yeah, I get you. But I don't know. It's just interesting because like when we talk in this manner, like it's like it.
We have one
What up, bro?
more man with Adam with us
Who's this?
from
Someone else?
Spirit Gang 603.
How we doing,
Spirit.
brother? I can't see other homie, but I'm joining in on the conversation. Yo,
You
I'm
can't
not
see
playing this
my
part, my
homie. I can
brain.
see everyone finally. I've been doing other lives and I haven't
Right.
been able to see everyone. I can see everyone.
How do you know?
that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
Rob, Mr. Nature. Obviously, you've obviously integrated the scripture into your consciousness, which is brilliant. But how do you not know that potentially you'll realize deeper aspects in the future, and you'll go, "Oh, there's more." So I was talking facts, but there was a lot. But what if it just gets infinitely deeper? How do you? Because the way I say that, because it sounds like you figured it out, and I'm not saying you haven't. But how do you not know that? Just when you think you've seen it all, there's more to see. I just want to open up the door and leave. We're surrounded. It goes on. Tell me.
I'm with you 100%. And of course, I always have reflected on myself, and there's points of life where I say, like, this is the truth of my experience. And then, like, a year later, it's pretty different. But the essence of the experience has remained the same at all times. And that's all I'm ever sharing is that I've actually experienced for myself that awareness is the essence and prevails all experience. Naked awareness is there in every experience. It's up to you to recognize it or not.
Yeah,
And once you recognize
I have
that,
recognized it.
you are
Partly,
one
but
with all that is. You're one with God. You have like, instead of life becoming little separate you moving around, it feels like everything is synchronized and all of life is moving with you. It feels almost
yeah,
like you have
I
a
get it.
hand of the universe and you're meeting the face of God in every interaction you meet.
Sometimes when I drive to work compared to other times, like sometimes it's like godly and it just feels amazing, and other times I just don't even remember it. But like, say, before I've had like the worst day ever in the history of the world, and then I literally am like, all right, if I can wake up, please, can I just wake up, right? And I'm like, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna go into non-duality. I'm so done right now with this suffering. Let me awaken right now, and then it. Just like I can't. So why you're telling me all this? Yeah. Why can't I just fucking do it then? If we're
But
assuming that I'm not
because you're
already.
already awake. Because awareness is already aware. It is only from identification with things that come and go that you grab an identity, a concept. If you trace that back, you will realize that yourself, where you're looking from, is always looking. And looking, observing, witnessing is wakefulness.
Look, I get it. Yeah. You know what? I don't know how to. I understand what you're saying, and I'm with you for the most part. But like, why can't I? I don't know. I just can't seem to shake it. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I know a lot of people. Like, again, I'm not, but just in general, the people who I listen to, I can imagine a lot of that. Even though they're all dickheads, but like, I can imagine people would also potentially have. Like, I don't know if it's criticizable, but like, I understand what you're saying, but like, it like, I don't know, because it sounds like it's just meant to be like a. Once you get it, you've got it, and now you've got it, and you're sound. But I can't
You know
seem to get it because I
what?
don't really. I don't know. Does it not clash with personal development a bit, or not really? I don't know.
Well, I want to add to that. You know, I understand where you're at, and I've had conversations with Mr. Nature on the same topic where I'm more in your shoes. And it is kind of like a constant evolution where you come to new realizations. But I keep reminding myself personally that, like, sometimes we can feel like we're falling off of the path of spirituality, but at the end of the day, we're spiritual beings. So, like, all is the path. And I think that's what Rob's trying to touch on is like, even when you feel like you're like out of alignment, you're aligned because you're aware, you're still experiencing consciously, you're still expanding. And like, we're not always expanding in the directions that we want to be expanding, you know, when we go into shadows of soul and stuff. But I try to take a step back from that personally and just be on some shit where it's like, well, I came here to experience duality. And I know in my core essence, I am not dualistic. You know, we're all sources, we're source incarnate. But
Yeah.
since I'm here, I try to appreciate that polarity that we came here to appreciate. So when we go back to source, and even when we go back to source in this lifetime, you know, when we have those moments you were talking on, when you really feel like, oh, I feel this God movement. I like am super aware of what's going on right now. You know, you can appreciate that more because it's not always like that. And I personally find myself, you know, we're all at different places in our journeys and whatnot, but I find myself in a similar place to you where it's like, why can't I control this? And then I notice some, you know, feelings of like uncomfort coming along with that because of wanting to control where I'm at and putting judgment onto my awareness and putting judgment onto myself and whatnot. And I feel like sometimes it's like literally just teaching you, let go. Like whatever's bothering you at the end of the day doesn't really matter that much because at the end of the day, we are just source incarnate and we are just like, you know, this energy that's in a human form, and the whole thing is really fucking weird and wonky, and none of us have it 100% figured out in my mind, because if we did, we'd be fucking ascended, we'd be back with source. Like, we're still here learning lessons, but it's just keeping the right mind state around it where it's like, I know what I am in my essence, And what I am in my essence is infinite, and it is all things, and it's a piece of this source energy that ripples through all of us and all things. So I don't know. I don't know if that gives you an extra layer of perspective,
No,
because
that was
I
good. Yeah.
definitely relate to where you're at a lot of the times, and it's just holding that awareness. And I think what Rob is touching on is the fact that, like, if you're holding that awareness, even if you're not feeling like, oh, I'm in nirvana, I'm blissed out, like, you still are that in your core, even if it doesn't feel like you are
The
always.
only thing separating you is the thought that you're not in the center. Is kind of what you were saying at the beginning. It's like whenever I come to Rob and I'm like, oh, I'm not there. It's like that's just a thought kind of thing, and like there's
Right.
like you just trip over yourself. Whoa, because you already know. You just have to fucking unwire the fucking unconsciousness, and you're back there.
Absolutely.
But when
Cultivate
I
passion
go on.
also. That's the thing. Like just like Eckhart Tolle says, really simply, like just begin your days with like listening to nature,
Yeah.
sitting down for a moment instead of like doing all your automatic programming and wake up your autopilot, go this and there, like sit up, listen,
Yeah,
read, do those
yeah.
things until those things become more natural to do as a habit than the other things. And then that just becomes more of your natural state more and more. But it's more of those things, because it's honestly, in the big picture, it's like if everything is God, how much can you love God every moment?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes it can be.
How much can you have a direct relationship with Source in every interaction?
The thing is, I've asked myself that a lot, and I try to, what you say, just love everything. And like, before, I'm better at it now, but like, I'd say that to myself, and like, I'd go, I'll try and and I can sort of, I can get what it like to mean to love everything, but it's just a thought for a minute, and then it just leaves. Like, I can't on psychedelics or something maybe, and I probably could but like, I just think. Love everything, yeah, I kind of get what you
But what
mean.
if
I
it's
could
love
probably do that, but
yourself
it's weak.
completely? Just love yourself completely. And then
You
if
see,
you
yeah,
ever had a
sometimes you can try
realization
and
what it's
you
love.
hear that and you just can't. Like, or it depends. Like, it's just not there.
But what if you are that all the time? Like when you just relax and you just chill and you don't try to think like, should I be like this? Do I need to go like there? And you literally just relax into this moment. You're not trying to go to a story in your head about the past, not to achieve something in the future.
But then,
And you literally,
like,
the most simple thing ever. No, don't even try to rush a question, because that
if
probably comes from your mind. Just stay here.
if you said this shit to my dad, he'd say, "Yeah, fucking, he's like a builder, full blast." And if I ever try to talk any metaphysics to him, he'll just say like, "Fucking, pass me that paintbrush."
But
Like,
that's beautiful. That's his life.
yeah, I
That's what
know, but
he's lived. Like that's his paradigm. And you just because you're realizing something doesn't mean you need to change someone else's paradigm. It only means you need to love people like you loved yourself to change your paradigm.
but
Because if you accept
yeah, but
yourself
what I'm
completely,
saying
you're
is that
here.
most modern people in society, if you try to tell them this, they won't get it, and they'll just say, I've still got to go to work."
Yeah, but
What are you on about?
make some music about it, and they might start listening.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah. It's just like I understand that the inner and outer world are exactly the same, but also like I can't help but clash, and like sometimes, like I mean, clash with a so-called external world where I understand what you're saying, but why do most people feel like they are like they're up against a fucking like like you
You
know
already
like
know that. You know that society is a fucking money-driven machine that's driven by money and not actually by love, and it's hurting people with big pharma, and it's hiding the cures for diseases,
yeah.
and it's starting wars to make money, and it's killing people, and none of the citizens actually want that. It's just the big companies and all of those things. Like we know why the world is shit. We need to figure out why we are shit within ourselves, and then we can help the world.
But it's this idea that you say everything's a reflection. Like I do get you. It's how you respond. I get. I don't know. Why does it always feel like I'm trying to figure out what you're going on about? Hmm? That's the main question.
Just relax.
Yeah.
I feel like too, a lot of that is just like we're all in different places in our soul's evolution, you know, and like we're all hit with similar programs that try to take us away from our soul essence. But not to say certain of our souls are more potent or anything like that. I don't believe that. But certain ones of our souls are meant to awaken more in this human lifetime than others. And, you know, like sometimes I hold the perspective, and this might sound like egotistical or whatever, and like I definitely don't mean it in that way. Like, you know, I'm on the same shit where everyone's my reflection. Like I'm no better or worse than anyone else. But sometimes I do hold a perspective of like, oh, these people are reminders to me. Like it's like I see this disharmoniousness and it reminds me why I need to find harmony inside myself more and more. Because as you do that, the reality around you shifts. And like, you know, the ripple can be very small or it can be very big. It just kind of depends what intention and how much energy you're putting into that rock you're dropping water, so to speak. So just like for me, sometimes I just focus, like Rob's saying, on just tapping into myself and loving myself more and realizing almost I can be an example for people who haven't reached those places to do the same and like realize, oh, this guy has some shit going on in his life and he's still feeling pretty good about himself. Maybe my shit doesn't have to affect me so bad either. Like maybe I don't have to get caught up in this monkey mind all the time. And then, you know, that starts to ripple out and people start to learn through, I guess, just leading by example and whatnot. And, you know, we're not all like here for the same reasons. I don't think we all have different like soul purposes and soul missions and places that we're going to reach in this life. So I feel like just tapping into where you're at and trying to make the best of it. And also I have a thing on what you were saying, like how your dad would respond, because I have plenty of more like type A people in my life as well that I care about the connection with. I think that how you word shit is really important sometimes. And like, instead of using very mystical words, you can convey the same message in a more understandable manner, like a more like grounded to this reality manner. And I think that that's something that's really important for me. Like I used to talk about this conspiracy theories, like start out with something believable, like, oh, I'm from America. Like, oh, we didn't have to invade the Middle East. Like, okay, that's pretty fucking believable. Okay, you believe that we were smuggling over fucking heroin, like, and stealing their oil. Okay, now you believe that. Now 9/11 was an inside job, you know, and like you kind of climb up this ladder instead of just being like, we're ran by reptilians, and then people are like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do get you, and a lot of people do that. Like that Neil Goddard or whatever Goddard you was on about earlier. I'm not. I don't know. Like, yeah, people can or I know this one guy. I think like Earl Nightingale. He's decent, kind of. He just says like you become what you think about. You know, you don't have to be. There's like the 5D shit, and then there's like just like a more down to earth kind of talk in terms of like in terms of how people respond to it. You haven't got to fucking pummel them with like the most radical shit in the most like crazy words. You can say it more sensitively in a way.
It's important for me anyhow to just plant the seeds and understand that they need to put light and water on them. Like they're not always like seeds for us to grow ourselves. It's like give them this little bit of knowledge. If it resonates with them, they're going to incorporate into their existence. If it doesn't, it's not really on you to try to make it make sense, you know? Like we're all trying to make it make sense to ourselves, and like certain people don't even realize that aspect of it.
I agree 100%. One thing I learned a lot from studying yoga was that like when you realize things and you have realizations, one of the texts in yoga says, and even if you realize things about health or anything in life, a general rule is that you should never force your opinion on people unless they ask. Like you should not be bumbling out your information unless they ask, because you always want to be a service. You always want to help the situation. You always want to be a light to the situation. So it's not about you. It's not about ideas. It's about the situation and how you can be of service there. And when you start doing that, naturally people come to you and they're like, hey, what's happening? What's this? What are you on about? Like how are you so compassionate all of a sudden? It literally happened to me where I was living on my family's farm. I was a dickhead drug addict, and then I got an ego death on acid. And then like 3 years later, there were like some people that worked on my farm for a really long time, and they're like, what happened? You went from being like an angry person that never spoke to people to be really forward and compassionate and helping everywhere around the farm and helping your family. Like, what happened? And I was like, self-realization, God realization, and that put that into practice and being myself, like without holding back. And it comes from actually not pushing your opinion on things and just kind of like more living life in where you accept people who they are. You're not trying to change people, and you just try to live the best life possible, and you're trying to make everybody else live the best life possible, and you care about everybody. It's really simple things, but we love to overthink about everything.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. It's been a long time we've spoken about a lot of this stuff, and I'm on it half the time. I do the overall shtick. I don't know. I feel like I can't help but like have I don't know. I just don't know if it aligns with my experience. What can I say? You know, maybe I'm just not there at the minute.
Who's the author of your experience? That's the. Who's the author of your experience? Like, if something is good, if something is bad, who can ever make that choice for you in your experience? It's only ever you. So that's why people say only you can save yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, it all makes sense. I get it, but then yeah. So do you not have attachments to, because I feel like you have to sacrifice almost in a way the human self. You have to let go of your
So
not literally, but you have to let go of your attachment to it. Huh?
Yeah, but it's just your thoughts about it. All true enlightenment is to be yourself completely without any worries, with full faith in the source.
You don't have to sacrifice your human self, then.
No, you just have to be your human self 100%.
Yeah, I know what
that's
you mean. I understand how you do it. Yeah. No, you're right. It's you're right to laugh about that. To be fair, I know what you mean. It's just dharma. Like I was looking at the definition of dharma, and it just says right living.
It also means duty.
How is it? How the fuck do you spell it?
Dharma. 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 It's like duty, it's your service, but all of those things is also like, how can you have a dharma if you're free? How could you have a duty? How could you have a service if you're completely free? Your only duty is to be the best version of yourself, to enjoy your life, and to fucking be. It's not anything complicated. Everybody wants it to be the next moment or the next thought or the next experience, but it's always this moment, this experience, this thought. It's always.
That's funny, bro. That's my project I just put out. I called it "If I Die Tomorrow" because like I have people like scared and shit. They're like, What are you saying? Like, no, don't die. And I'm like, no. But like tomorrow never comes. Like it's always like today. It's always now. Like I'm never gonna die tomorrow. I don't know why that popped in my head, but it's the same shit. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to keep that awareness, right? And like to not get into our monkey mind. And like everything you're saying, Rob, like obviously like I agree with everything you're saying. I just feel like for myself personally, it can get difficult to stay inside of that. And like you're saying, it's a very simple thing when you really break it down on paper. Like it's just like, just exist. Like we're not here for anything more than existence. It's pretty fucking simple.
Yeah.
But then we have all of these programs running on top of each other that are conflicts of interest with knowing that and staying in that moment. And, you know, we always strive for more. I feel like not because of human nature, even though I think a lot of people would pin it that way. I think more we strive for more because we've been programmed to strive for more. And, you know, recognizing we're all in different places in the world, but like, come on, like America is like the number one, like fucking make money, fucking do this, own a business, do that. And it's like, I don't follow that shit as closely as some people do because I recognize the evil's hidden inside of it. But I can relate to other homie, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but like where it's like it can get really difficult to stay in that awareness of like whatever is happening right now is okay and I don't need to judge it. I don't need to see this happening as a negative thing because it's experience and like we're just here to experience. So how could it be negative? So like I don't know, there's so many contradictory things that for me personally can flow through my mind and I'm like, what the fuck does this even mean? Like, what's even happening here? Like, why can't I just exist and be content with it? And we're getting closer. We're always getting closer, but I relate to what both y'all are saying very deeply.
I
just
too. Like it's just the human consciousness, the materialistic consciousness, and like timeless, pure consciousness. The contradiction is like the
Right.
non-duality. It has the duality because you're existing at both at the same time. If you're starting to wake up,
Absolutely.
I was going to say this earlier, but I forgot. And this is quite likely what Rob's talking about. Like, I mean, I don't know how much you can sustain it. Supposedly, obviously, there's yogis that maintain enlightenment, right? And they take a psychedelic and they don't do nothing to them, or who knows. But like, so I took like fucking 12 grams of Liberty Cups, basically. And it was a lot. Dried grams. That's a ridiculous dose, obviously. And I had like basically, the best way to translate it for this conversation was like what I would call like self-realization of the self, like the eternal self, which is kind of beyond boundaries, so to speak, the God self, like the non-dual self, you know, fuck me, Brahman, you know? And when I saw that, it was shocking. So I was like, it was stupid, because really it was normal life. But the way that I saw it was so like, I was like, I can't fucking believe this is happening right now. And I was like, are you joking, bro? And then, I had loads of synchronicities and it was literally like next level, like God's literally talking to you through everything. Like there's no time, you're just completely gone. And like, I couldn't care if I was in prison. I was literally floating like fuck. And it was like, it was just my birthday, so to speak. It was now, and I was just gone. But I was also acting on delusion as well, because I made some moves. It didn't make sense in the third dimension. But sorry, it was mad though. That's the closest thing I can think. It was kind of like a form of solipsism. I'm not saying I'm the only person inherently, but it was, you know, the self, Brahman, you know what I'm on about. That's the closest I got. But then I come down and I haven't got it anymore.
Well, you brought up like, you know, yogis, monk type shit. I have actually heard them talk about that experience and like experiencing psychedelics and whatever. I forget exactly who this was who was saying this, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like, yeah, I got to sit with Christ for a few hours. Like I do my daily practice so I can constantly sit with Christ.
Yeah, I've
like
heard that. Ram Dass was saying that. Psychedelics will only let Christ visit for 2 hours and then he's got to go.
Right. Yeah. So it's that thing too. And then I think it's important to know, like, your like lifestyle and the life that you're living is a huge factor in this, because the yogis and shit, that's just all they do, and that's all that. And like monks, like that's their whole life, that's their whole existence. Everything else is provided for them. So it's like you can't really compare your existence to the existence of a monk that is provided shelter and food and all of these things. Because there's also plenty of stories, and this is like a tragic thing that's happened, but people will literally go on like 4 or 5 year meditation retreats and live this type of lifestyle and then come back into what to me or you would be like normal society and then kill themselves because they're like, this shit is so fucked up. Like, I cannot handle this. I can't live in this world. So it's like having that awareness that it's like, we're living in a society that's frequency doesn't always allow for this space to embody what we truly are and our true essence, because we do have these almost like survival instincts that kick in and like, oh, I need this, I need that. Like, I can't just meditate all day, every day. And if anyone in this chat is in a position where you can, big on you, I'm happy for you, but that's not my situation.
But even if you could, you probably wouldn't, or maybe you would. Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows? Not without sights, I'll tell you that.
You probably could meditate all day. You just have to do it anyway, no matter where you are. That's what Robert.
Everyone wants to be with Christ. It takes psychedelics to be with Christ. You get to peak it for a few hours or 1 hour or a moment or something. And then comes the big question, truly, like, who is Christ? Yeah. And how could you be with Christ? Who is Christ? Who am I? And if you ever figure out who am I without thinking about it and you just recognize it, then you will realize that you're fucking always with Christ. It's impossible not to be with Christ.
What if that's not enough for me? What if being with Christ is not enough? And you're like, because that's not the best way to phrase it. Forget that. Listen to this. Because I understand what you're saying. I did listen to you. But what I'm thinking is, that's all good, but how do I actualize that and actually make a fucking spiritual kingdom and have, like, the mass awakening? Because I can be with Christ, but I want to make my human life like sick as fuck. So
I'll tell you the same thing as I read in the yogic scriptures that I applied to my own life, and it made me live in it constantly, even though it was always happening. Recognize it completely. It is to eliminate desire, and it's not to eliminate desire as people think, that you wanna not achieve your dreams or not pursue goals or not pursue your health or anything like that. It's to remove the materialistic desires that you conditioned during your incarnation, during your personality, the one you're living in right now, which is like anger, lust, greed, and like feeling pride that you're better than people. And those things, 6 of them, I named 5, I don't remember the last one. But it's conquering those and becoming the master of your senses instead of the slave of your senses. So once you become the master of your senses of awareness, once you conquer these things and you recognize your bad habits, you recognize your bad thoughts, you recognize your bad words, and you put from awareness the application of thought power and knowing you're the creator of your experience and changing these temptations, these 6 lusts, into compassion, wisdom, understanding, and equalness, equality, and you're changing your life from becoming a dickhead to a really compassionate, loving person, makes you see this all the time because it's our natural state to be loving. So that is how I transform my life, how you transform your life. You build a relationship with God. You build a relationship with every interaction, and you make yourself a better human by conquering your addictions, your bad habits.
How long did it take for... Because you was asleep, weren't you? You was an NPC for how long?
I quit as soon as I had my first ego death. I quit all my addictions. All pills,
how come?
every caffeine, every soda, every bad food, everything. I just smoked pure weed and took psychedelics and started meditating and doing breathing and eating.
My addictions, I said it on one of my first trip reports. It's on my channel, and then I just went back Look, I understand, yeah, but how come I've had 150 odd fucking deep trips, and how come you just like realised, and then now you're like basically my question was going to be originally, how long did it take for you to integrate this supposed revelation? Was it a gradual process that took like many years, or like what did you just? Because it sounds like you just like flicked a switch and you're like, aha! Now I get it. Now I remember. Finally, now I'm fine.
Like my integration is still going on, but it was like a switch. Yeah, it was like this. It was like, who else would change my life and my addictions and my habits but me? Who else would make my life better? Who else would change my thinking? Who else would practice awareness? Who else would do these things in my life? And it was just like this. And at the same time, the ego death showed me a peak of unconditional love. It felt like I took off a sock of everything of time, like a tight sock around my leg. And I took it off, and it was like everything was Hakuna Matata. You exist forever, you can't die, your soul is just a fucking car. You've changed car, your energy keeps on going, you never die. And it was just like everything is love, it doesn't matter, everything is made of spirit.
Here's a very important question, if I can please ask you this, is tell me, when we're talking about this, because I want to get clarity on this predicament, is what is the contrast, if any, of before you seemingly awoke and flicked the switch to now, in terms of do you feel like how I felt on 12 grams, where you are literally like, not literally, but you yourself realize, like, and it feels physically different, and obviously to an extent. So like, but how radical is it, or is it just actually just not much, or are you literally in fucking God consciousness 24/7? Like, how radical is it when I supposedly get this thing that you can't get because you already have it or whatever? Then what will I feel like? Will I feel like God?
And everything's really beautiful. You just go for a walk and everything looks amazing because you're really present.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I said that earlier.
That in every situation is it. It's the ordinary extraordinary. It's the ordinary stuff really, really heightened awareness.
But how do we build the mass awakening like a castle with with 144,000 in it? How do we build that?
Don't worry about the prophecy. Only worry about yourself and get into the now. Because all of this, in my experience, like, we can talk all these things about experience, awareness, all of this is like, technically it's how much do you love yourself, how much do you love God, how much can you recognize God every moment, how much do you dedicate your heart over your thoughts, how much do you dedicate yourself to actually praising the Creator every moment. Every person I speak with, I'm sharing my experience. I look them in the eyes. I speak with them. I recognize the essence in them. I want to help them. Not like, oh, I want to give you money. I want to do something for you. I want to meet you. I want to change you. No, I'm there. If something happens, I'm ready to help. I'm ready to spread a smile, be happy, have a laugh, make a joke. That for me is the highest experience, to be completely present with all of your life.
Yeah.
Yo, boys, I have to slide out. Got some stuff to take care of, but I just want to wait for the right time to chip in and just say pleasure talking to you, boys. Much love, and have the beautiful rest of your day and life.
Oh, thank you. See you later. Oh, see you later. Yeah.
Peace out, fam.
Sort of thing. Peace out, bro. Peace out, bro.
Hi,
Bless. Miss Sunshine.
What's up? I also need assistance a second. So I plucked the babies out of the thing. They're gonna go in the dehydrator. But does this guy just go back in the bag?
The water one time.
Put it in the water and in the fridge?
In the water just one time, like 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Miss Sunshine.
You see this?
I do. That is some spiral realm. Yeah, the thing is, if you said what you're saying to Mr. Traumatic, don't you think he'd still be like, wanting the Phoenix event? He'd be like, yeah, I'll get you. Because what I'm saying is, the third dimension is fucking stupid. Where's the light realm? Why is it fucking like literally physical shit? Like, why aren't I fucking like a fucking dimension of space alien thing? Huh?
You're so dramatic about the things event in the third dimension. Shit, even in Australia, he's making fucking millions of fucking pounds. Like, he's chilling and cruising, traveling the world and having the best of time ever. And you can make all like things about the future and stuff, but he's still fucking like at the essence, he know everything is one and stuff. He's just doing his best to out it while he's here.
Yeah, he's just making tunes, isn't he? I get you. But also, like, I don't know. The third dimension is just like,
But then,
it's good. I love it. But like,
but you
you
really
know
have
what I
a
mean?
choice. Make your best life, complain about yourself, be a victim, or kill yourself. Like, that's like the proper holy trinity you got if you're gonna do something about it. Like, and only one of them actually is like helps your life become better, and that's to take responsibility and to stop philosophizing about everything and trying experimenting everything, the power of your thoughts and words, instead of thinking about them, thinking about thinking. Try to speak about all the things you realized in a sense where you affirm things, because you're doing that every moment, even if you know it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. I guess,
Fuck being right. Make your life good, no matter if someone's wrong or right. Like,
the thing is, like, I think what it is when we speak in this manner, it makes it like, I feel like it makes it more complicated. Like I understand what you're saying, and you are right. Uh, but also, like, it's just like, I don't know. Life isn't straightforward. There's nothing, but it is. Like, 'cause it makes it sound more complicated than it has to be, kind of. Like, what is there to know? Because I was going to say earlier, chop wood, carry water. But, I don't know, it sounds... I'm just saying live right... Like, you're just saying live rightly in a way, like, and that's what the definition of Dharma seemed to be the other day when I was looking at it. I don't know.
yeah, basically. But it's like, why you said a million times, almost like you had the experience of realizing that you're the creator, almost that you're the one consciousness here.
Yeah.
If you're the source of everything you can see everywhere, wouldn't that mean you could make this experience basically anything you want? You become a bodybuilder, you can become a musician, you can become a banker, you could play any role in the whole act of society if you really wanted to, as source.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just play with that thought. What would it be?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, oh, I know what you mean. Get validation that you can do it directly, and then just do it, basically.
Motivate yourself with your imagination. Imagine how it would feel like. Now I have my YouTube channel. I have a few thousand followers, and I was happy when I got 500 followers. I thought that was fucking dope as fuck. Now I like a big following or anything, but I have people making videos about me on YouTube. Like, not even you, like other people that made a little fan video the other day called Eddie and shit. And it's like I have a sponsor of CBD. Like, I have a legal CBD sponsor with my ad code. I make money for selling weed. Like, all of these things when I started my channel was a fucking dream, and it was like things that I wanted then. And I already imagined, like, when I made my channel, I imagined it would be so fucking cool to be sponsored with something with weed. Took like 1.5 years, then I was sponsored by legal CBD weed. It's like you imagine this, you imagine your dream life, and then you actually just takes action towards it. And psychedelics help you see that vision clearly. At least it did for me.
Yeah. It just seems like you applied it. You just apply it. So, like, I don't know.
But what
Because I'll tell you something. Hmm?
What else is there to do? It's like you see clearly. If you use your logic right now, you have either autopilot or creator mode.
Yeah, true.
Which one do you want to stay in? Which one would benefit your life the most to stay in?
Yeah, I get it, but like it
That's
just like it everything.
psychotic.
I can't do it though. Why
Can
can't
I
I fucking do it then?
be like,
Huh?
what's this for
Look
a
at this
mushroom?
mushroom.
What happened? What is happening? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's up and
What
down.
strain is that supposedly?
McKenna, I think,
Oh,
or golden teacher, but I think it's McKenna because we bought two and only one of the boxes is growing.
Hmm. Fair enough. But yeah, look, I'm with you on it. But if I could just do what you're on about, uh, if it even is something, or if I'm not falling into a trap of non-duality and whatever, then why can't I just do it? Or am I already there? And I just because I get what you're saying and you're right, but it just
But can you
I
not
don't
feel
know. It
you
doesn't
are?
click permanently, bruv. It comes and it goes.
But do you not feel that if something happens, there is a moment where you can either react or you can respond and make it anything you want? And that
Yeah.
but like a psychedelic trance, or some people call it mania, or like when you're having a manic episode. Like when I had my first ego death and you had your first ego death, you were like, oh, hyper energy. It's like that's what happened to me first. I got hyper energy and I took that to changing all my habits, to changing only pure food, only pure smoke, no other drugs, no soda, no nothing, removed all unhealthy habits, started doing breath work every day, started doing yoga every day, started training, doing push-ups, started doing everything to better my life every day, and had this manic obsession about like making my life as good as possible every day.
Yeah, that's the funnest way to live, to be honest. Kind
I
of.
still do that, but in a like low key background way. I make sure I eat good. I train a little bit every day. I make sure I'm relaxed. Like I now it's just at the point where it's like I'm not feeling the pressure to do it, of course. And of course, it's always good to have another
Well,
push of motivation.
yeah, I was just saying in general, like it's just life is more fun when you actually because instead of just being like a junkie full blast, obviously it's better to actually take care of your like you still take care of yourself, yeah, obviously very good, and you still got aspirations and stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just have to burn through the karma until I get there or something because I'm already there. You're right. I understand, but I don't know why. I don't know why doesn't it click
But it
exactly
is
overall.
because of the materialistic consciousness, the bound of time, the conditioning. You just have to see and bring awareness to your conditionings instead of identifying with.
Yeah, but everything around this, like, you just have to do this. It's like, all right,
Okay, but then
and then I just don't do it. Why don't I do it?
but that I cannot answer for you. That's where your own willpower comes in. When I recognize this, when I had my first like proper linear awakening to trance through thirds on 600 micrograms, the second time I experienced source in all my life.
Yeah, I always come down. Yeah, go on.
It's even after the trip when I come down and I'm in my ego and I'm like confused, I'm again. What the fuck just happened? When I start realizing the thing, it's like you change your life. You stop going autopilot and you go into creator mode and you fucking do what you want to do from the whole of every cell of your being instead of being like indecisive or a people pleaser. You speak your truth, you tell the truth every moment. And it doesn't mean like you're pushing your truth on people. It just means you're fucking doing the best with your life and no one else than you are going to do it for you. It's like when I had this trip, it was like, who's going to help the planet if not us? If I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Yeah. Okay.
How can we expect anyone else to do anything to change this planet or have an awakening or a shift if we cannot even shift ourselves?
Mm.
You can change how you feeling like this.
Yeah, I mean, and when you look at people's personalities and like problems that you used to have and you don't have anymore, I mean, like people, the contrast of people's personalities. You see how people just create their own lives. Like I, I didn't used to care about health at all, and I was just fine. And then I started listening to Traumatic and stuff, saying all the food's poison, and then I'm like, ah. But before I was learn that, I don't know. It's like you kind of can create your life with your beliefs, don't it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Too much knowledge can make your head hurt.
But yeah, I guess you can only save yourself. Like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink or whatever the fuck they say.
But you
So
can.
I know what you're saying. You're sovereign to realize the self. You're right. Only consciousness can wake up to itself, and that's like the most fundamental thing. So you can probably do that. You're right.
And the only like logical and quickest thing in all yogic scriptures, if you don't want to practice disciplines for years and don't want to do yoga, the fastest way to God is to love God.
I did it. Oh wait, I haven't.
Yeah.
Imagine when you're just with your fucking dog, like you're just present with your dog, and you're like, "Oh, I love you, little dog."
Yeah, I know what you mean. Anything I adore is the door to the Lord, bro. I was thinking that the other day and seeing that. I get it.
When
Uh,
my awakening in Portugal, like properly on like 3,000 micrograms, like when it was really grounding, I told myself after the trip, like now I'm gonna condition my mind to think. I'm gonna look every time I meet a person. I'm gonna look them in the eyes when I speak with them. That was the first thing, because the eye is sort of the window to the soul. And then the second thing was I'm gonna think I love you. The first thing I think when I meet someone, and I looked them in the eyes, and I practiced that for like 1.5 months, and then it just became natural to start looking people and appreciating that in a different way.
yeah, and like obviously I've only known you digitally, but I always get that like from you. Like I don't ever get any like projections off of you really. Like, and I do off of other people. Like sometimes people like radically misinterpret what I tell them, and they get like angry at me and like or something like just people I talk to and that. But you just don't really do that. Like you're always just like you are kind of responsive, yeah. Where like I don't know, all I've kind of really got, I don't know. It's not you're not like because before you told me like you do tell me how it is just straight. You don't chat shit, but also like you always have like you do have this kind of unconditional love kind of vibe where you don't really. But yeah, there's just no projection really for me. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Call me the middleman. I'm in the middle, man. I don't know if you listened to that
Yeah, I
album.
know that too. I don't know what you mean. I didn't know what you meant by that exactly. My phone's gonna die like shortly. I'll probably go when it does. Like I've only got 3% or some shit. But oi, do you wanna save this live at it? Keep it on the thing.
I
Okay.
can, yeah. I can say it.
I'll export it. You can get rid of it if you want after. But I've got loads of fucking lives I need to export. But it's good. We haven't spoke for a while. It's a new one, new episode.
We can make a
We'll have to do more.
record an episode for YouTube or something, not a live or something. Just make an episode.
Yeah, you said you wanted to do one on your channel. I'm up for it. I've been taking a fucking. I got loads of interviews I need to do and shit, but I've just been chilling for a minute because I don't think it's the right time, but I think I'm getting there now. The weather's getting better. I'll be ready again. Let's do a podcast.
To the rain. So if you start finding the middle point, you don't really care when it rains. You know it's sun after.
Hmm.
Tell me a single time where it's rained and the sun has not come back.
Yeah, but I get what you mean. I don't know, but I'm not capable. I don't know. Maybe I am. I can't just yogi everything at the minute. I do sometimes, but my history will likely repeat, and I'll probably Miss Sunshine said she related to this before.
The
Like,
man
I get what you're
think it
saying, yeah. But how come Miss Sunshine said to me before? Here you go. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Sorry, I'm steamrolling you. Miss Sunshine said to me before that you. This was ages ago, probably like a year ago. I can't remember the context, but she was like, "Oh, he's grumpy. How come you're grumpy then, Yogi? Huh? You're not allowed to be grumpy. I thought you was awake. That
You can grow.
you was
Maybe
grumpy once a year ago.
all day.
I thought he was a yogi.
Maybe just me being a bitch, innit?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was though. I don't know. No, she said it with you there. I think though we was on FaceTime. I don't know.
Yeah, but she loves calling me grumpy. Like we have a relationship. Of course, we have human
Yeah,
emotions
yeah,
to
I
each other. It's no
know. But
deal.
you see, like sometimes I don't know. I try and like see because I don't know, bro. When I talk to you, it's just I do just get yogi love, like unconditional love vibes all the time. But you never seem to like doubt anything. Like, not. Oh shit.
What's up?
Did his phone die? Are you there, bro?
He's phone by little man.
He's just frozen there now.
He's a
But
coconut.
if he ever sees this, he just needs to stop saying he can't, and then he'll be able to.
What's up, everybody? If anyone's still here.
Hello, everyone. It's just us now, and I don't know if you see him still, but they're frozen Baron.
Puka puka puka.
Now it's just us.
No, it's just us. It's the detectives of the infinite mind here now with a cute maestro. As cute as they come. Hey, Dino. He's smoking too. Everybody, everybody want to know how to be themselves. Very complicated, I tell you. You can never figure it out. You were just born to do it naturally. Brr, 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 brr. Join. Hello. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. All praise to the most joint. Hejsan. Hejsan, hejsan, hejsan. Tjena, tjena, tjabba, tjabba, tjabba. Välkommen till nuet. Welcome to the now, where you shall always remain and forever be.
Oh, how about phone?
I took 3 squirrels, 4 owls, and 3 raccoons to make this show. Bro, have you ever visited illuminatiofficial.org? Is it legit? I can just tell you right now, it's not legit. I have not visited it, and it's not legit because you are Illuminati, and it's not an organization to join. And if there is, you should not be joining it because it's either a scam or you're just playing with yourself. Literally. what if the true, thank you for watching my YouTube for years. What if the true Illuminati is you, and it's you changing your thoughts, so it changes your circumstances, and changes your experience and perception of life and your habits? What if you're Neo and you can hack the whole code of the Matrix by realizing that all things are made out of thoughts, and thoughts are things, and everything starts in your thoughts. Without thought, all is not. And then you start from the simple point of practicing it, like practicing thought power and being like, if you meet a hard situation in life, for example, where you can practice thought power, like the most practical way. It's like something bad happens, a hard situation happens, and you have to solve something. Let's say you get a flat tire when you're driving. And instead of freaking out and thinking, oh, this is so unlucky, oh, fuck this is so bad, and creating really bad perception, then you can just engage, switch, and practice thought power in every hard situation and be like, this situation is making me stronger, I can do this, I can handle anything, I'm always at the right place at the right time. This situation is making me stronger to be able to handle anything. I can transmute any seeming problem into an opportunity, and just remain in that mindset where you're transmuting every situation and receiving every situation instead of resisting every situation or resisting any situation at all. Everybody want to know how to be themselves. It's really complicated. I want to join the Illuminati and shit. Like, what if I told you everything you could ever want? Truly, if you want to see it, if you want to peek it, if you want to see it before it happened, take a really big dose of psychedelics by yourself, all alone, and just melt away into everything, and just peek the timeless infinite, and choose with, after that, the life you want to live. It's gonna be really simple because you're already unconditioned, conditioned. Pop another tab, nigga. Let's get lit. Now we are the gods. Nigga, make a wish. Imagine if you could have everything you ever wanted. Today's lesson in non-dualistic teachings is I'm sustained by the love of God. Yeah, for sure. Not by food or money. Yeah, agreed. But food and money is love of God too. So, or God's love. But for me, it's like, yeah, we're sustained by the love of God, but we're sustained by God because God is love. So whenever we can sustain the feeling of love for all of creation, or even just love for every moment that's passing by as best as we can, in the best capability we can, then we're abiding in God. But if you truly get non-dualistic teachings, put the book away. You're always in God. It's non-dual. What can you do? It's more like you want to read a book. Like, is it possible to get out of God? Mm. You know, it's possible to get out of God.
Yes, I just stepped outside.
Into the mind.
You colonized your mind, but not mine. I'll be the boss.
You're the boss of your mind. And everything comes from the mind. So you're the boss of everything. They said that you shall inherit the land, and this land shall be heaven. And so we're the guardians of the earth. Uh, middle way, and you realize you gradually cultivate. Yeah, train your mind, for sure. Train your mind. But it goes quicker if you take a big dose of psychedelics and do it at the same time. Even people say you shouldn't rely on something external, unless if you still think something external. God's everywhere. God made nature so we can communicate with it, and the molecules are there for a reason. Even the most enlightened man in the world should still try out psychedelics, or they're missing out on a really great experience. If you haven't noticed, if we're already talking about non-duality, you would see that if this reality is non-duality, non-duality is already many. It's already individuals. So non-duality already is duality. But I've been doing this live for quite some time. The thing is, some people will still just stay as awareness and just be like, nothing happening. I'm changing awareness. Like, but you're still getting visuals, and the whole mind switches, and your sense perception switches, and everything switches. Self-realization is basically living as what's it called? God had personality, like God's personality. So every snowflake is unique. You can always see in nature that no tree is exactly the same as the other. No snowflake is exactly the same as the other. So uniqueness is already pretty obvious if you look into the form of all of creation. But then the trippiest thing is that it also exudes the presence of interconnected oneness to all things. Like, it's basically a miracle. So let go, be here now, love everyone, and tell the truth. When you tell the truth to everyone, you're with God, because God is truth. So the more you tell the truth, the more you're with God. So it's logic. If you get down to it, some people say it's not for the intellectual understanding and stuff like that, but it's both very much in your heart, but you can also have the understanding of consciousness, your body shita, very much in a clear awareness of cause and effect, and going beyond cause and effect and being the thing where you see the cause and effect are actually things. You always know there's sun after the rain, and there's always rain after the sun, and there's always sun after the rain. And then you make it rain, baby. Stack them bills, fuck them bitches, get that money. Fuck bitches.
Can I come?
Well, this has been a fun live. I'm gonna cancel it here. Big love to you. Beyond cause and effect, gone, and forever gone. Beyond.
The dehydrators, but little mushrooms dehydrate.
Dehydrating mushrooms, like, mushroom.
Mushrooms in the fridge.
There's no mushrooms. She's lying. Don't tell the internet. There's no mushrooms. They're secret. They only exist in another time and space, and another planet, and another dimension. These mushrooms. Right? Fancy indeed. It's the fancy mountain life. Except that we found mold in our place today and we had to clean and throw away a wardrobe. Else than that, it's still perfect. Shalom, namaste. See you in another time and space, but always here and now. Recognize the point where you're looking from that never changes, and maybe you'll have even more of a fun time in everything that does change all the time. Shalom.